Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? It's Friday. Nigga heading to the J.O. to do what he do. Hopefully we can make this a real quick day, man. My baby's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Yada. 7 years. Man. These kids is getting old on the kid, man. Shit wild, my nigga. But peep game, man. Let's get into it, man. I want to talk about something, man. And I addressed the issue with the Tom and Jerry runners about Turkey Island Chic or whatever the case may be, and how black people are taking offense to what it is that Turkey said, like he's punishing black fighters. I talked about that in my last video, but now I want to talk about, and I did slightly speak on him saying who he wants to fight on the undercard of the Canelo Crawford fight. I did speak on that slightly, but I want to go on bulk on who I think should be on that card a little bit more. Just some potential matchups. Some potential matchups for that card, man. I think, all right, man. So my thing is this, man. Because it's on Mexican Independence Day, I think it is logical to stack that card with Mexican fighters, whether it's Chicanos or Mexican nationals. You dig? I think it would make all the sense in the world to put as many Mexican fighters on that card as you possibly can and match them tough. You dig? I think it should just straight up and down be. It should just be a straight up and down Mexican. It should be a black versus brown card to the best of its abilities, because that's what the headliner is. And I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it would be dope. Let's put the best of the best in there. You dig? And I think for him to say Christian Mabili's name, I think there's no better fight for him to be in than a Diego Pacheco. But Diego Pacheco is about to fight Trevor McCumbee. I think he fights him next month. And Mabili fights at the end of this month. I think he fights next week, actually. No, not next week. He fights the week after. He fights at the end of the month. So who else better to put him in there with? You dig? In a Diego Pacheco, if both of them can go in there and do this demolition job on their next fights, their next fighters. But I would love that fight. Christian Mabili versus Diego Pacheco, or Canelo versus Crawford undercard. That would be an incredible matchup, man. That would be beast, actually. That would be fucking balling. But I don't know, we don't know how good of a job that they're going to do on each other, or that they're going to do on their opponents. So, and if they're willing to make that fight happen that fast after their fights, man. So if Christian Mabili can go in there and dispatch of Sulecki in the same manner Pacheco has, put him in there with Cindy's. Put him in there with him. And if you can't get, if Mabili doesn't do a bang up job on Sulecki that Pacheco did, throw him in there with Charlo. I wouldn't take issue with that fight personally, man. I'm like, that's a dope fight. That would be a dope fight. It's unfortunate that Jaime Munguia is going through the situation like he's going through now. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, because if he wasn't, and if he somehow gets clear, if his B sample is cleared, he needs to be on that undercard. With the potential Charlo. Or Resendiz, or a Mabili. Those right there are, those are 3 fights. Those are 4 fighters who will make for a bang fest and a standing ovation type of fight on that undercard. Next fight, Rafael Espinosa. Let's get that motherfucker in there. Let's get him in the mix, man. Who the fuck he gonna get in there with? Shit, man. We can't use Nick Ball, because Nick Ball's fighting Sam Goodman on on the Dillian White versus Atama undercard, so we can't use him. We can't use him. Who's the other? You know, Stephen Fulton is already locked in with Shock for the most part, so we can't lock him in. Which I think that would be the perfect fight right there, man. It would be a dope fight. It would be a dope fight. So the only champion up there right now is, you know, Angela Leo. That's available. Fuck it. Make that shit happen. You know, make it happen. Let's go for that shit. Let's go for that. I think that's a dope, you know, I think Rafa is just different right now. I don't, you know, he might be, I don't even think it's a dark horse. I think he might be the top dog up there, you know, at 130 pounds, bro, or 26. This dude is, he's a fucking anomaly, man. 6'1", 126 pounder with snap, with good movement, switch hitting. He's a problem, man. He's a problem, but he's a dude who needs to be pushed more. I think the Robesi fights, those were good fights, and I think he needs more exposure, man. So, you know, keep pushing for that. You dig what I'm saying? Keep pushing for that. So him and Angela Leo at this point, that's probably looking like the, you know, the two likely opponents to get, you know, to be on that court. That would be more than likely, unless you want to just say fucking and throw Shushu to the, you know, throw Shushu to the wall, you know, throw him in the deep end and see how he comes out. I wouldn't be mad at that personally, even though I think it's too, you know, it's too soon for, you know, Shushu. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. You dig? And I honestly don't. I'm not tripping on the fact that, like, if you coming off a loss or whatever, I think it just depends on how bad the loss was. If you just got pointed and you didn't take significant damage, I wouldn't mind you being on the card against some, you know, tough opposition. So we got him. You got Raymond Murataya. I don't know if he has a date locked in yet, but why can't we get him and Andy Cruz in there, Brody? Why can't we get him versus Andy Cruz in there? That's a dope matchup, man. Now, granted, you know, just I don't know everybody's situation. I don't know what they got going on, negotiations, who they got in the scope, whatever. I'm just making shit up as I go. Just making shit up as I go. You dig? Just, you know, any, you know, just these is fantasy matchups. Why can't we get that fight right there? That's a dope fight. That's a dope fight. And you know, there's a lot of people who feel that Andy Cruz will go in there and just wash Raymond Murataya, and I personally don't agree with that. Murataya is in that fight. Murataya is in that fight. It could win that fight. You dig? I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm just throwing shit out there, man. I'm just throwing shit out there. I would have loved to see Sugar Nunez versus Savage, but Savage is about to fight how you pronounce it? Kakache, is that how you say his name? I can't remember how to say his name. The dude who he took the belt from Irish. He took the belt from, I can't remember the dude's name. The you know, the dude that Shakur Stevenson was supposed to fight on the Bivol Better BF undercard. I cannot remember that dude's name. All of a sudden, that shit is irritating me. But he can't fight him because he's about to fight that dude right there. So I mean, who else do we got at there? 130 pounds to keep Sugar in. You know what I'm saying? To keep him sharp. You dig me? I don't know, man. Can we get him versus Navarrete? Can we get that? Can we get that? Like, that's just, you know, just let's make some shit happen, man. Let's get creative with the matchmaking. Let's get creative and ambitious with the matchmaking, bro. Do I want? Nah, Isaac Cruz won't be available. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Isaac Cruz, he makes for entertainment. So we can't get him though because he's locked in for the. I think he's on the Pacquiao Barrios undercard. You know, we got news that Jerron Boots Ennis is moving up, so why not just give us Virgil Ortiz versus Jerron Boots Ennis? We have been wanting that fight since they was both welterweights, man. Why can't we get that fight in there now? Unless Boots wants to get acclimated to the division, which would be understandable. But if he's like, yo, man, just throw me straight into drama, why not make that happen? Why not make that happen? Let's do that. Let's do that. And if we can't get Raymond Mutataya versus, Andy Cruz or whatever, why can't we get Abdullah Mason versus a Raymond Mutataya? Or somebody like that. Because that's a name that he called. He called that man's name. Why can't we get that fight? Why can't we get Frank Martin versus Keyshawn Davis on the undercard? I know it ain't Mexican, they not Mexican, them is black Americans, but that's a bang fest right there. That's a bang fest. I think he should, and I know his stock is down, based on what happened just last week or whatever. I get that. And that was a black eye on the Davis camp. But what else better the way to redeem yourself than going, all right, cool, you up at 140. You have no fights at 140, neither does Frank Martin. But you was about to fight fucking Edwin De Los Santos off for 2 years in activity. Why can't you just, hey, yo, bet, we both going into a new division. Let's just meet up there at 140 pounds. Just hop right back in this smoke. And he ain't fought, has it been a year? Has it been over a year? Yeah, no, yeah. It's a year as of now. Because Gervonta fought him last June. So a year now. It's a year this month. So yeah. Why not make that shit happen? There's so many dope fights, Brody. I'm mad. Zordo is tied in with Dorticos. I'm mad. Even it would be dope to see David Benavidez on the undercard. It would be dope to see David Benavidez on the undercard, man. Like, wow, just what's stopping you for, like, just let's just keep throwing ideas around, man. Let's keep throwing ideas around. It's unfortunate we can't get Bam on that motherfucker. I would love to see Bam on the undercard. You did? Can we get goddamn, Jesus Ramos on here, man? Who we go? Let's just get creative with the matchmaking, man. There's so many dope matchups that you can make with the, you know what I'm saying, with this, there's so many dope matchups you can make. Let's look to make some shit happen, man. Let's look, let's get, just, they upset me with this, with them laughing at the dumb shit that Ryan Garcia was doing and everything. But why can't we get one of the, just one of the Vargas brothers on the undercard? Who was it that he was sending shots at? That he was talking greasy to somebody. Why can't we get that far? Why can't we get a fight like that on the card? You dig? I'm seeing Johnny Beck versus Carlos Adames. Cool. Real cool. Real cool. Like, let's get, just get creative with the matchmaking, man. And every fight that y'all put on there has to be a fight that was like on both of the better BF Bivol undercards. Just get creative. Just get creative with the matchmaking, man. I'm all for the bullshit. I'm all for it. I like these matchups, dude. I like these matchups. I like that he said that, man. I like that he's, wanting people to put their name in the hat. Tevin Farmer. Is he getting out of the fight with Floyd Schofield? Is he getting out of that fight with Floyd Schofield and looking to enter his name into, hey, yo, I need parts on that undercard? I would not mind him and Schofield saying, yo, let's go, yeah. Let's go get on that undercard. I'm all for that. I think Tevin Farmer is still a world-class fighter, and I think Tevin Farmer can get a belt. I honestly do. That dude has showed me that he is capable of becoming a champion up there at 135 pounds. I'm all for that. Please get Tevin Farmer on the undercard. Pretty please. Let's make that happen. Who will we put him in there with? I don't know, man. If him and Floyd Schofield is still in the, is still on the itinerary, just go on ahead and put them. He's a Golden Boy fighter, but still, so the fuck what? Okay, he's a Golden Boy fighter, but shit, man. So is Zepeda. Zepeda's fighting on the Shakur on the card before the. He's fighting on the turkey card. Yes, put him on. Yeah. Yes. That is the perfect place to put them two niggas fights on. That is the perfect card to do that with. Let's make that happen. Just get creative with the matchmaking, bro. Because I think the dude, Turkey is, just, I do think he, for him to say who wants to be on the card, I think that's a dope look right there. Who wants to be on the card, bro? I'm accepting applications. I'm accepting it, you dig? Junto, who? Now, of course, all these fighters can't be on the card. All of them can't be, all of them ain't gonna be able to make the card, but I'm just throwing ideas out there, Brody. I'm just throwing ideas out there. Seeing, throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. And it's some real dope matchups out here, Brody. Let's make some shit happen, man. Let's make some shit happen. But I feel like Keyshawn and Frank need to be on that card. I feel like Raymond Mutataya needs to be on that card. I think, Cindy's needs to be on that card. He really showed he gave a real good showing of himself. If Mabili can't get rid of Sulecki in a timely manner, and you can't give us, Armando and Christian, give us Charlo and Armando. Fuck it. Let's do that. Unless Charlo wants to still stay over there on the PBC side of the street and act silly. Then give us Lester Martinez or something. You did? Give us Lester. I go for a Lester Martinez fight. I definitely go for that. Put Lester on that bitch. There's too many good fights out here to be made for motherfuckers to, nah, man, let's make some shit happen, man. Let's make some shit happen. And that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll get with y'all later. Happy Friday.